1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. We're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen,
Southside Pod.
Blue Island, Beverly, Pay Listen, all sub 2. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
We have folks decorating houses for the holiday season. It's all for a good cause, and it's happening all over the South Side. It starts in Beverly this weekend. That's on this show. We're also going to talk about a weirder holiday festival coming up in Blue Island. That and so much more ahead. It's all brought to you by Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor, corner of 111th and Kedzie. He handles my money, Bill's money. He's going to help you as well with your retirement, your planning. Stop in and see him, 111th and Kedzie, or call 773-779-0023. John Streetz is sitting down here with us. John has visited us before. You have all kinds of really fun markets that you'll do at different breweries and distilleries. You bring us bourbons to taste, and you also have an event coming up very soon in Blue Island. Tell me a little bit about that.
That is correct. It's called True to the Craft Fair Krampus Markets at Blue Island Beer Company.
Did Alan name that? Because True to the Craft is like their slogan, isn't it?
That is 100% his name. Yeah.
He doesn't miss a trick, that guy over there.
I just added Krampus Market at the end of it. That's all I could do. In all seriousness, we have a variety. This will be a little darker than some of the other markets that I've had. You're still going to find your soaps and your candles and your homemade, treats. But
stuff that you would see in like a market for Christmas time.
Yeah,
exactly.
What you would want to give as gifts.
Right. And then
2 tarot readers at this event.
Because when I think of Christmas, I think of tarot cards. What I mean, like, what?
Please tell me my future.
What?
Yeah.
This is the second guest we've had on the last month that has brought this up, where they've done something for Christmas and they have a tarot card reader.
It must be a new thing.
When did this become a thing? I don't get this. Like, my mother is going to put down her rosary beads for a minute and shake her fist in the air. This makes no sense to me.
Or sit down and get a reading.
No, she's not going to do that because that's the devil's thing, and she's not putting up with that.
My grandma wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But actually, tarot is one of the things I do at almost every single market. I think that's a really fun addition to any small market that I put on. And sometimes people are just dying to get a reading. And in some cases, like yesterday in Wheaton, the tarot reader was twiddling his thumbs half the market.
Really? Wheaton doesn't have no time for no tarot cards.
Well, it's a more conservative area. But at this market, it was so popular last year.
Blue Island, though, was weird. And there's going to be a line for the tarot
Island is
card.
Awesome.
Yeah, Blue Island's. I love Blue Island because it's
keep
weird.
Blue Island
okay,
weird,
yeah,
sure.
Blue Island is the Austin of Chicagoland.
Yeah,
That's what they are. I mean, keep Blue Island weird. They're kind of like a fun little town. They got fun little places to hang out in. We like going out to Blue Island, so that makes a lot of sense. What is there anything else that's a little weird in this Krampus market?
Well, I'm working on getting some characters for this market. Maybe Krampus himself.
Is it Krampus or Krampus?
I call it Krampus.
Krampus?
You can call it
Krampus.
Krampus.
It's Krampus?
Yeah.
I call him Krampus.
And maybe some
Tomato,
elves.
tomato.
Another word you pronounce wrong.
I know, I do that one wrong. Yeah, okay, fine. Krampus. Okay, Krampus market.
But
It sounds so weird now when I say it that way.
it's
I was today years old when I learned how to say Krampus. Okay, so we may see Krampus walking around?
You might. Can't guarantee. This is technically after the Krampusnacht.
He just said Krampus. He said Krampus. He just said it.
No, he said Krampus. That's a different word.
That's a different thing.
Oh yeah. That's the full name for the day.
Oh, so when you use his full name, it's Krampus, but when you use the short version, it's Krampus. So my name is Christopher, but otherwise just call me Chris.
Well,
John, tell him while he's wrong.
Add a knot to it, and sure. Whatever works.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, Krampusnacht was the weekend before. I want to say it was on the 5th. So this is kind of a later Krampus market.
Again, he just keeps saying it.
It's the bourbon.
He's mocking you now.
All right. If you say Krampus or if you say Krampus, okay, and whatever it is, the market is what day? What day is this?
It is on December 11th.
Okay.
From 12 to 5.
Okay. And so we're going to have some fun things that are going to going on there. The beer's always really good. I think the best thing about going to breweries this time of year, too, is that all the stouts are out. Like, I mean, they're out. And I would think your vendors enjoy the fact that people get out there, drink high alcoholic beers, and can buy things.
Well, not to mention they can drink, too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they want the customers to drink, so they buy more stuff.
There's not
like
many...
you get Mrs. Lanuti drinking.
Yeah.
She's buying everything.
Yeah, she's coming home with bags full.
She's coming home with Krampus and Krampus. She's got them all. She's got them all with her.
Yeah, this particular market, we'll have Jonathan Grimmart, who's always very popular amongst that particular market. We'll have Taro Baita reading there, which was there last year. And he was so busy, that's why we ended up booking 2 different tarot readers at this particular event. But it was a blast last year. We're hoping for a similar blast this year. Not to mention down the street, Rock Island Public House is also having a small market the same day.
Ooh.
So you can hang out at Blue Island first, do some shopping, do some drinking, and then walk down the street and check out some other artists that'll be at that event.
That's my move in Blue Island on most nights, right? I go and hit the brewery. And then the brewery closes, and I walk down to Rock Island Public House. I mean, that's kind of what I do. And then I go, oh my goodness, if I don't leave now, I'll become part of Blue Island forever.
You get trapped on
It's like being on that island in Pinocchio, where if you're there for too long, you just turn into one of the donkeys. That's what Blue Island is. And that's why I love Blue Island. It's just an awesome place to go and hang out. You brought another bourbon to taste?
So this is a bourbon from Jepson's, who's the same.
You didn't give me Malort, though, did you?
No, it looks very different.
I'm not drinking Malort.
I can't promise this is not Malort, but I can promise it's from Jepson's. Specifically, this is barrel 231.
Okay, it doesn't smell like Malort.
No, thank God.
It does. Well, it does a little bit. If you just search out in your soul the Malort.
Don't talk down to the bourbon, because I would. The moment you make me even associate this with Malort, I'm not drinking it. Okay. I mean, anybody that sits around and says this, and this is a Chicago thing, that anybody who sits around and says that, oh, you know, Chicago's drink is Malort, you got to have some Malort. Those people are all
they're mean
degenerates.
Yeah, they're
and
mean
they're
people.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
Nobody drinks this stuff. Do you drink this regularly, John Streetz?
Yes.
Do you drink Malort?
Well, I regularly drink at Lunar Brewing in Villa Park, which is probably the most Malort drank anywhere is at Lunar Brewing in Villa Park.
Why do people drink Malort?
Just think of it like grapefruit.
But it tastes terrible.
It's just bitter.
It's not just bitter.
It's not bad.
You know how much Malort you have to drink to get your taste buds so screwed up that you enjoy it?
All of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you may be a professional drinker. You may also be a problem. Like, I mean, that's a lot of Malort you probably have to get down. You can't tell me that the first couple times you had Malort that you were like, this is good.
Oh, no, I thought it was awful.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But the 100th time.
To me, it's like flaming vomit is what I'm drinking. Yeah.
But it's rewarding on a number of different levels. It's Malort. It's a Chicago thing. And you can always force a friend to drink a shot of Malort.
Right. And if you need to amputate your leg, you can use Malort.
Yeah.
You know, to numb yourself. Right.
That.
Exactly.
I had actually, at last year's Christmas party, I had these little ornaments you could fill with liquor. And it was a game. One of them had vodka. One of them had gin. One of them had Malort. And one of them had tequila.
Oh, somebody lost.
And it was like a gaming system where you can do certain things at this party and you get points. Whoever has the most points wins. Well, anyway, so I filled every single one up with Malort. And I lost 4 friends that night.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset with them.
Malort, when you want to lose your friends.
They died, those friends. Those friends died. They weren't upset. They died.
If you've been injured at work, then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
Dan Bracken's on the phone line with us. There is an event going on in Beverly, the Finley Forever Foundation, with an event going on this Saturday. Let's welcome him in. How are you, Dan?
Good, Chris. Thank you so much for getting a hold of us to take the time to spread the Christmas cheer.
We actually have one of the members here on the network, one of the guys that I do one of these podcasts with, who lost a child when they were young. And you had the same thing happen to you. Your daughter, she suffered from cancer, and she unfortunately passed away. And people always try to figure out, like, how do we remember that person? You started a foundation that does an awful lot of good. And from what I understand about the Finley Forever Foundation, you're helping those that are going through cancer. You're helping families that may need some supplies or just things to help them get through the everyday of it. You're helping out the nurses. You're linked up with Papa Hops, the Tom Hopkins Foundation, who's been on this show before. What brings you to the point where you say the best way to remember Finley is to start this foundation?
Oh, well, I would say growing up on the South Side and being a South Sider, living in the Beverly community and being a parishioner at St. Catherine, that warrior mentality. That's what Finley, portrayed all through her fight with neuroblastoma, and just the support from the community and beyond was second to none. We figured that there was no better way to say thank you and to pay it forward than to pay it forward and honor Finley and her, her fight was amazing to watch, as sad as it could be. She never had a bad day. She always had a smile on her face, and she brought together a ton of people. Just that in almost 3 years that she didn't even know, and they didn't know her. So that was our premise behind it, was to pay it forward and just be able to help whoever we can, the same way that complete strangers helped us, to say thank you.
So Lights and Ladders Brigade happening on Saturday, the 3rd here of December. You were CFD, I believe, at some point. I think you're doing fire someplace else. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me how this comes about.
My brother and my dad came over while we were going through our battle of cancer, with Finley's battle of cancer, and decorated our house. And obviously it was the last thing that any family wants to do, is decorate your house when your kid's battling with cancer. I have 4 daughters, with Finley. My dad and my brother just kind of Griswolded our house up, and you never know when your last Christmas is going to be. So obviously that was Finley's last Christmas. We started the Finley Forever Foundation, and our foundation members and board members were like, hey, let's do something that's unique to take away a burden during the holidays for families that to help them out. So being a firefighter in the city, I was a paramedic in the city and a firefighter in the suburbs for the last 22 years, with a ton of contacts and friends. Firemen are the most selfless people there are. So we shot a bunch of text messages out, got a group of guys together, guys and girls, and got together with the Tom Hopkins Foundation and Christian Style Cancer, which were 2 foundations that helped us out a ton during our battle with cancer. They were all in. We sold yard signs basically a couple times out of the back of our cars, off our front porches, and raised a ton of money. And we were able to decorate 6 houses last year. What we thought we were going to have 50 volunteers, and we ended up having 150 volunteers, people throughout the neighborhood in the Beverly, Mount Greenwood, Oaklawn, Evergreen Park communities. It was amazing. We had a half-mile long procession, which was not the intent. We had the Alderman O'Shea was really great, helped us out last minute, and had a police escort and the Cook County CPD, state police. It was unbelievable. It was not what we intended. We wanted to kind of slip in and slip out and just decorate a house and say, hey, here you go. And it turned out to be the complete opposite. So we decided, hey, we're going to do it again this year. And in the process, we wanted to expand. So we reached out to another organization, Project Fire Buddies, which is based in the suburbs. And we knew if we had the south suburbs covered, and we brought Project Fire Buddies in, and they were all about it, we could hit even more houses. So we have the December 3rd is the city date. We're doing 7 houses on Saturday, December 3rd, and we're doing 6 houses on December 7th. So yeah, we've been busy. We've been shopping, and it's been awesome. I can't move 2 feet in my garage. My wife and a couple of friends are actually putting everything in bins and checking every light bulb. It's a blast. My girls, it's a family affair. All our family, our friends, everybody's been shopping different weekends. It's fun. it's the best way to say, Merry Christmas and thank you.
How do you pick the houses? Like, where does it come about? Because I'm looking at the list of where you're going to be just in Beverly, and then I know on the 7th you're going to hit some other houses on the south side. But like, how do you select where you're going to do these decorations, and then who really decides what kind of decorations you're getting? I mean, are you getting those animatronic things? Are you getting the things that blow up in front of the house? Are you going with flickering lights? Like, what do we got here?
So my wife and our foundation members are extremely perfectionists, right? So this year we decided that each foundation would pick two or three families, and we would talk about it. We've met 3 or 4 times together to decide who we were going to decorate for, and obviously we want to decorate for as many people as we can. And then my wife and our foundation reaches out. The other foundations reach out to their families that we pick, and we ask if there's anything particular that they have sentimental to them that they want hung up, or if they want colored lights, white lights, blow-ups. And then they give us kind of a basis. Obviously, it's kind of an awkward question to be asked, like, hey, we're going to decorate your house. What do you want? You don't want to really go above and beyond. And then we throw our south side mentality at it and say, all right, this is what they wanted, so we're going to triple, quadruple that, and hopefully the power grid can handle each house. And we go shopping and we get everything, and we're raising money through sponsorships this year, and we're selling sweatshirts and yard signs. So we're very fortunate that we've raised a ton of money to be able to do this and be able to give back, and that's kind of how it's been going. It's been nonstop since we launched this idea. And we've been talking about it all year since last year. And I'm extremely nervous to see how many people are going to be there, because last year I only expected about 50. And like I said, we had 150 plus. And I can only imagine it's going to be even bigger this year.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't know how many people out there listening have a firefighter in their family, but I've had a few of them. And first of all, firefighters actually love fire. Like, if you get them around something, they're like, let's make the bonfire bigger. Right. Let's play with all the electricity. Let's get crazy. I mean, like, they're nuts. Right. And so I imagine like 20 people standing on a roof. Like, I mean, they're fighting to be the guy that goes up the ladder while they're doing this. They're stapling a ridiculous amount of lights, just like Clark W. Griswold, to the roof. It's way too bright. There's way too many electrical lines. Like, that's what I'm expecting here. Is it pretty much like that?
You nailed it. It's a hard crowd to control, and it's one you don't want to control. But everyone does it. Everyone fills the gaps. There's 10 guys on an extension cord trying to plug it in. I mean, you couldn't ask for a greater group of guys, men and women. Kids all our families are there. It's not just about the adults. It's, I want my kids and our close friends' kids and everyone's kids to, I want to bring the south side of the south side of Chicago to every south side, and every north side and every west east. I want that community selfless service to show them what good you can do. Just do it.
I'm looking here at the website. I would assume that people can learn where you're going to be, how they can come out and see this, if they want to help, if they want to donate, if they want to learn more about your foundation. FinleyForever.com. What else can they do? If people want to learn more, that's where I send them?
Absolutely. They have you can go to the FinleyForever.com page. We have Facebook, Instagram, obviously the Tom Hopkins Foundation, the same, Christian Style Cancer and Project Fire Buddies. We're in it together, so we're sharing everything. The 19th Ward is putting out they'll put out a blast. We're preparing the blast for the 7th as well. We didn't want to confuse people with where we're going to be and the times. At the event, we're going to be selling sweatshirts and winter hats and yard signs. So you can support it the day of, show up, and absolutely. And if you want to, hold a light bulb while we're handing it up to the other 500 people doing it, then stay in a line and just enjoy like I told everyone last week, put your phone down and enjoy the 45 minutes of giving back, because it's literally each house is 45 minutes or less. It's insane. It is insane.
Is it before I let you go, I got to ask you, is this great for you because not only are you able to help, but not only are you able to do something in Finley's memory, but also as it's happening with the flickering lights and the Christmas and the excitement and stuff that kids would like, at some point you must look at it and be like, she would have gotten a kick out of this.
Oh, absolutely. And the irony of it is that what you don't know and no one else knows is I hate decorating. I absolutely hate decorating.
Listen, I'll let you in on a secret. Pretty much all dudes hate decorating. Yeah. We do it. And, I'll be hanging off the roof this weekend, putting up the lights and everything like that. But I'm going to hate it. But I have to do it because I'm the dad. So I get it. I'm with you.
Exactly. And you know what? I don't anymore. It's completely changed my view on, when you go through anything tragic, it humbles you and changes your view. And, my wife and I, from the beginning, said we're either going to let, this consume us or we're going to consume it. And we chose to consume it. And that's kind of how we, our foundation, our family, our friends are, we're going to consume it. We're going to make the best of it. A bad situation is a bad situation, but it's only bad if you allow it to be.
If you want to learn more about the Finley Forever Foundation, check out finleyforever.com. Learn about what they're doing this weekend in Beverly, decorating the houses. December the 7th, they're doing more around the South Side. And if you're able to contribute to help out, I'm sure they would appreciate it. Dan, my best to you, your wife, and your lovely family. And thanks so much for telling us about your foundation.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it.
What was the rabbit's name in Bambi? It was Thumper. What's this called in radio speak? It's called a bumper. It's a bumper.
Make sure you subscribe to Southside Pod. I know a lot of people get it through social media links. People share it with them like, hey, I was on Southside Pod. You should check this out. But if you never want to miss an episode, if you want to go back and listen to something on demand, all the episodes are there. Catch up with us anywhere podcasts can be found and always at southsidepod.com. Stocks in the Basement's on this network. The EP podcast for those in Evergreen Park and the surrounding area. So many different shows here on the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network. You can get the whole list of them at broadcastbasement.com. Last week's show has been cleaned up. It was an absolute mess. If you saw it on Thanksgiving when it released, there were so many misspellings. And I think a song was playing over the top of us talking. It was I was feverish. That's all I can say. The flu was in the house, and I was running 103 trying to finish the show for everybody. So that's my bad. But I was seeing things coming out of the walls and trying to produce a podcast. All better now, though. Sometimes you get knocked down. Sometimes you need some help. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment will help you switch to a new age of life. If, let's say, you're getting older, or mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, you want to keep them in the home. You don't want to put them into assisted living, or maybe you're going through something and you just need some medical equipment for the time being. From CPAP machines to the latest in diabetes control. And then the big things like the ramps that go into the house and the lifts from one floor to another floor. They can make your home into a smart home and they can reduce the fall risk. See all they have to offer at hhme.com. They're going to work with you and your insurance company, get the lowest possible price, and then take additional money off if you mention Southside Pod. Stop in and see a real live person who will answer all of your questions right here on the South Side at 3518 West 95th Street in Evergreen Park. Back to our guest here, and it's down at the bar. Again, you've been down here twice in the last month. How do you, John Streetz, get into are you showing up at the breweries and saying, hey, I've got this idea? Have you done enough of them at this point where you're just on a roll where you're at one of these, you're having this event, and a brewer or an owner or something like that walks up to you and says, I want you at my place? Because I remember you did one maybe a year or so ago that we were involved in. And they weren't happening all the time. And you seem to have something going on almost every other week.
Every week, actually.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, Chris, it's a little bit of both. When I first started out, Alan over at Blue Island Beer Company was one of the breweries that was all about giving me a chance, giving the artists a chance. And then from him, I did a show at Evil Horse Brewing. And then I did a show at Rabid Brewing. And then I did a show at another brewery, and I already had an in with a couple other breweries. Next thing you know, I'm having breweries reach out to me. Bubble House Brewing, I believe that's in Lisle. They reached out to me recently for an event this year, but I was already booked up.
You were at One Allegiance, I saw that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm trying to keep a list of like all the breweries that I've done already and all the breweries that want to do shows with me still.
Yeah.
But I still go out, like I'll go check out a new brewery. I did like Bubble House, good example. I went there, I talked to the owner and asked, hey, would you be interested in doing this sort of an event? Months later, they reached back out to me and said, hey, let's do an event. In other cases, I've got like Phase 3 Brewing up in Lake Zurich reaching out to me to see if we can do something this year. Fortunately, I had already booked up all the shows. But
right.
I have no doubt I'll be working with them again sometime next year.
Because you have the event in Blue Island on the 11th, and then after that, I would imagine a break for you.
I've got 12 shows between now and the end of the year.
Okay.
And I get...
What's after Blue Island?
After Blue Island is 12/17. That is the Last Chance Bazaar at Noon Whistle Brewing in Naperville.
Okay.
And then I've got the last market of the year, which is your last chance to get the perfect gift market at Lunar Brewing in Villa Park on the 18th.
All right, look at you.
Then I get Christmas off, I get New Year's off, I actually get all of January off, and then I start booking shows already in the next year.
Just sober up in January is what you do, right?
No.
Do a lot of exercise,
I'll do
stay away
the
from
most
the poison.
drinking in that month.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have
By
to drive.
himself at home in the dark, that's all.
In all seriousness, no, there's 2 months I'm taking off next year from show curation just because I kind of figured out where I need a break. November shows were tough in this year. And that's my birthday month. I'll use that to recoup and then focus on the last 3 months of the year for more shows.
You got a website yet for all this stuff to look it up, or is it all on Facebook
It's still
events?
all on Facebook.
Okay.
If you're looking for that, it's the Streetz Arts Alliance on Facebook.
Streetz with a Z and Arts has a Z as well.
That is correct. Two
Yeah,
Z's
replace
in that.
all your S's with Z's when you're looking up the Streetz Arts Alliance.
That's also correct.
Except for the S at the
well,
beginning
Alliance
of Streetz.
has a C, so there's
Right.
no yeah.
Yeah, and they'd be
No,
Z's.
that was true.
Right. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Krampus,
not the
Krampus.
first S.
Right.
One Z. Not two Z's.
All right, I think we've
no
confused
S's.
everybody. So make sure you don't miss one of these ones coming to up at the end for Southsiders. I think your best bet is on the 11th over at Blue Island. You can meet Krampus, whatever he's called. Okay, John isn't even sure. I've heard him say it 2 different ways while he's been sitting down here drinking bourbon at the bar. Really excited that you stopped by and you kind of broke it all down for us. And you're welcome back anytime. I love these festivals.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. It was great being here.
Couple of things happening on this week's Southside Bulletin Board. Let's take a look around the Southside. Some Christmas festivals happening. Evergreen Park is having theirs on Saturday. It's a 2-day affair in Palos Heights. All this great info brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to offer you an alternative. Full Taster Bar, great CBD products, brand new location, 95th and Kedzie. See everything they have to offer at coolcloudsvapor.com. Friday night it kicks off, and then for pretty much most of Saturday at 122nd and Harlem, the Palos Heights Kris Kringle Market is taking place. Over 70 vendors available at this holiday shopping market, an outdoor heated tent, local food vendors, Santa's going to be there, there's a kids corner, they're doing ornaments, so much. The main entrance, 122nd and Harlem. On Saturday, Hailstorm Brewing out in Tinley is having yoga and beer. 10 a.m., do some yoga, have a beer afterwards, $15 per person. That includes the class and 1 draft pour. I was just there this week. They've got some great stouts up on the big board. If you like barrel-aged stouts, there's a spot to go and get your yoga done as well. Out in Lamont on Saturday the 3rd from 3 p.m. until 7:30 p.m., brighten up your holiday season with a stroll around historic downtown Lamont during their Lighting Up Lamont event. Cookies, cocoa, Santa Claus is there for photos, kids' crafts, and carols to sing. Learn more at lamontdowntown.com. If you'd rather just listen to some Korn, the tribute band Freak on a Leash is doing their 10-year anniversary show at 115 Bourbon Street Saturday night. Starts at 7 p.m., goes to 1 in the morning. $5 tickets, you can get them on Eventbrite. And the last item of the weekend on Sunday brought to you by SidSauce.net. Small batch flavor packed hot sauces. The peppers grown on the south side, delivered on the south side. See everything they have to offer at SidSauce.net. This Sunday from noon until 3 p.m. at Antique Taco in Bridgeport, they are having a hot chocolate bar. They're doing mezcal and tequila tasting. They've got a live piano player and a fire pit. Get out, have some tacos, and enjoy some holiday Sunday fun. That's your Southside Bulletin Board. If you have something for the bulletin board, you want to leave us a message, anything you want, you can contact us directly through the website, SouthsidePod.com. I got to wrap this show up now and start untangling Christmas lights. Will this be the year I fall off the ladder? Maybe. Maybe.
It's the Southside! It's the Southside! It's the Southside Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod! Y'all come back now, you hear?